Welcome to Adulting with Joyce Pring. Watch the full video of this episode on my channel, www.youtube.com/JoycePringTV. And if you want to level up your adulting game, check out joycepring.com/collections for my digital products and course. So I remember this news story from, I think, a couple of months ago where in Eat Bulaga, Maine Mendoza called out parents who were on the show apparently, and parang they were asked to give a message to their kid, and parang basically the gist of their message was like, anak, pagbutihin mo, ikaw mag-aahon sa amin sa kahirapan. Tapos parang si Maine was like, wag naman po ganun. Wag naman po natin ipasa dun sa bata yung responsibility. And I'm gonna tell you something that might shock you. I am going to stand somewhere that's not extremely on the, nga tama, wag niyo bigay dun sa bata yung responsibilidad. But also, I'm not gonna stand on the, yes, dapat nasa kanya yung responsibilidad. I am somewhere in the in-betweenish, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, I come from a poor family, basically. Hindi kami mayaman growing up. And this is something that shocks a lot of people because I speak the way that I do. But yes, hindi kami mayaman. So, makikita nyo yun. Kung napapansin nyo, madaming tao nagtatanong like, bakit hindi ko nakikita yung parents mo, hindi ko nakikita yung mga family mo, ganyan. Kasi I come from a broken family and most of my family members are all abroad, mga nag-OFW na. Dahil nga mahirap ang buhay dito sa Pilipinas, mahirap kami. And I didn't come from a well-off family. And my mom hates it when I say that, but it's the truth. And I feel like she finds it shameful when I say that kasi it disrupts this vision of like opulence in our lives. But we don't have that, really. Like, hindi talaga kami mayaman eh. Anong gagawin natin, di ba? Hindi talaga yun yung background ko. But I feel like there's no shame in that anymore because I am a child of God. Kahit ano pa yung pinanggalingan ko, kahit gaano pa kahirap yung pinanggalingan ko or yung pinagdaanan ko, that no longer defines me. It is the love of Christ that defines me, number one. And number two, nakaahon ako. Nakaalis ako doon. Hindi ako nakapagtapos ng college. Did you guys know that? I didn't finish college because when I was in high school, pretty much my parents didn't have the money to put me through college. And so I had to start working. And I worked while I was in college, and it was hard. It was hard to be a working student. I was working as a copywriter in a call center, before. Tapos first year ako nun sa UP, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I got into showbiz, and it has taken me where I am today. And I'm really grateful for all the people and the opportunities that has brought me here. But that's the quick background that I have. And so you can just imagine how I have stepped into the role of being a breadwinner for my family, for a lot of people in my family, for a really long time, and how that all changed when I got married and when I had my own family. So I want to start by prefacing this and saying that I think what the mom was saying in that Eat Bulaga clip was wrong. Number one, in the sense that tama si Maine, you shouldn't put the responsibility of getting out of, being poor to one child. If anything, that should be a shared responsibility for everyone in the family. And how do we do that? Yung sinasabi ni Maine na mabata pa po kayo, madami pa kayo mararating. Tama yun. You shouldn't ask the kid to be like, dapat ikaw yung magtataguyod sa amin sa kahirapan. But it should be a work together in the family. But here's something that I feel like a lot of privileged people don't understand. When parents from poor families say that, it's not because inaasahan nila yung bata, but because nagtatrabaho sila sa current job nila na never silang yayaman dun sa current job na yun dahil yun lang yung kaya nung pinag-aralan nila or ng skill set nila at pinapag-aral nila like lang, let's say, engineering yung bata. I have so many family members who are like that na wala tayong magagawa. Yung trabaho talaga nila na pwede lang para sa kanila is magbebenta lang sila ng ukay-ukay. Hindi ko nila lang to as in a degrading lang ha. Pero ito lang yung I'm saying na according to their skill set in our society, in our government, and dun sa work experience and educational experience that they have, yun lang yung pwede nilang gawin. So, pwede lang silang mag-janitor, pwede lang silang magbenta ng ukay-ukay, pwede lang silang maging rider, all those other things. Very good, respectable jobs. But it's not gonna get you millions or hundreds of thousands of pesos. Why? Kasi may limit yung money na ma-earn mo dun eh. So what do? They make sure that yung mga anak nila, mapapag-aral nila. That's why education is the key for children and families to get out of poverty. They make sure na, pag-aaralin natin para maging engineer, maging teacher, maging, mga high-paying jobs yung mga anak natin. Tinatawid nila yun para lang makaahon yung pamilya nila sa kahirapan. So that's a different perspective that I want to offer you guys. Like for example, meron kaming kasambahay ngayon and yung kasambahay namin na to, may mga anak siyang nag-aaral, pinapaaral niya. Pumapasok siya sa amin, kahit na 50 years old na siya, 50 plus years old na siya, pumapasok siya sa amin as kasambahay. Nagtatrabaho siya as kasambahay. Kasi yun lang yung kaya niya sa pinag-aralan niya at sa educational and work experiences niya. Magbubukid sila. So minsan, mahina yung ani, mahina yung trabaho nila. So wala talaga silang pera. But since nag-aaral yung mga anak nila, meron siyang nurse at meron siyang teacher, kinailangan niya magtrabaho at merong isang gustong mag-IT. So that's a different perspective that I want to offer you. Sometimes, yung mga poor families who say that, they say that not out of selfishness, but out of the reality that in the Philippines, if you have a normal job, if you just have a clerical job na nagbebenta ka lang, sales lady ka or whatever, hindi ka talaga yayaman. Magiging mahirap ka lang dahil ang taas ng bilihin, ang pangat ng economy natin, tapos ang liit lang ng sinasweldo ng mga tao. So I want to offer that perspective to people who are hating on those parents. Kasi probably you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to be a poor person. Na yun lang talaga yung pwede mong gawin eh. Ang kaya mo lang gawin talaga is to maximize whatever it is that the cards that were dealt for you, and yun na yun.
That's it for this episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring. If you liked this podcast, please don't forget to use the hashtag Adulting with Joyce Pring and also check out www.joycepring.com for the show notes and tag me on social media with at Joyce Pring. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Paalam!